Hi Bradley. I thought I'd give you a little demonstration of annotating my country in case you missed it in class or you don't remember what we did. And of course, if you were in class, your worksheet is in your folder in the classroom. You don't have it at home. So I thought I'd just give you a little reminder of what we did with this poem. I suggest you do this poem for your exam because if you happen to accidentally forget it on your exam day, this is a poem that you get given. Okay, so it's a bit of a backup. Just in case something happens, you forget your poem, you're going to be really familiar with the one that we give you as you walk into the exam. Okay, so you need to read over the poem. Okay, but obviously I'll read it as we go along, and I'm going to annotate a few things. I'm not going to annotate everything, but I'm going to give you some examples of the different things that you can see in the poem and that you can use in your essay. Okay, so the first thing about my country is the story behind it. And Dorothy Mackellar, as a young woman, went to England from Australia. And although she liked England, she discovered that she really missed Australia. And by being away from Australia, she was reminded of all the things that she really loved about it. So the first stanza, this whole first stanza here, is all about England. Okay? And I'm going to insert a little text box, because I think that's the only way I can do it. Let's just let my computer. Oops. Let's do it. Oops. Sorry, I'm being a bit clumsy. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. So stanza 1 is all about England. Alright. So I might give a little shade as well. I think that'd be a good idea. Blue shades. Okay, so this whole stanza is about England. So field and coppice. A coppice is a little wood, so a little wooded place. Green and shaded lanes. Yeah, very nice and sweet. Ordered woods and gardens. So ordered meaning they've been laid out, they've been cared for, they're a bit formal. Strong love of grey-blue distance. Brown streams and soft dim skies. So these are all very gentle, pretty images about England. Okay, so this first thing's all about England. It's very gentle, very soft and very pretty. However, she knows that it's very pretty, but cannot share it. My love is otherwise. What she loves is a sunburnt country. Everything else in this poem is about Australia. And she talks about all the various different things in Australia, the good and the bad, and she loves all of it because it's where she belongs. Okay, so I love a sunburnt country. So again, immediately we get into some imagery. Okay, sunburnt. We've all experienced sunburn. We know that you get sunburnt when it's been really hot and the sun is beating down on you and you've got no shade. So a nice little bit of imagery there. Let me do a little, I should do imagery. Oops, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Okay. So imagery. A land of sweeping plains, ragged mountain ranges of droughts and flooding rains. So again, already in the second stanza, you've got a range of things. Sweeping plains, so plains, areas with no trees. Sweeping means it go for a long distance. Ragged mountains, droughts, and flooding rains. So all these extremes. So you might remember when we talked about juxtaposition when we're doing paper planes last term. And so you might talk about, so a technique here, it's not exactly a poetic technique, but I'm going to give it a little colour. So better if I spelled it correctly. Position. Whoops. There we go. I don't really want it to be right there. Where can I put that? It'd be easier if I could do this by hand, to be honest. I might actually want a text box. Sorry, bear with me. As you can tell, I didn't rehearse this first of all. Juxtaposition. And the effect of this, or the purpose of this juxtaposition, is to show that no matter what Australia's like, I still haven't written that right. Okay. No matter what Australia is like, she still loves it. Okay. So repetition comes up. So I actually already done this already. So love, love, love. So she repeats, I love her far horizons. I love her jewel sea. And then we also have, related to love, core of my heart. So I'm going to do it in the same colour. Core of my heart. It's a repetition. Let me do myself a little copy and a little paste and a little move over here. I'm going to do it up here. Repetition. So repetition, the deliberate repeating of words and phrases. So there are lots of repetitions like the and a and I, but they're not deliberately repeated. That's just part of our English language. But this repeating of love and core of my heart is emphasizing how much she loves it. And she doesn't just love it, it's part of her heart. Okay. I'm going to point out some alliteration. You remember alliteration. Repeated consonant sounds. And this is one of them. Let's do a little copy and paste again. Yep, that'll fit there. Lovely. Alliteration. So repeated consonant sounds. Flood and fire and famine. Okay. So these aren't necessarily good things. Flood and fire and famine. But the use of the repeated F sound emphasizes these words and makes us pause, and the repeated N's makes us pause. So, core of my heart, my country, land of the rainbow gold, for flood and fire and famine, she pays us back threefold. So, we may get flood and fire and famine, which are bad things, but we get 3 times back of beautiful things, of jewel seas, of beauty, sapphire misted mountains, and lovely imagery, hot gold hush of noon. Yep, that golden sun beating down in the middle of the day. Green tangles, live lianas. These are supple, sort of creeping plants. Orchids, beautiful flowers. Yeah, so for all of these beautiful, beautiful things that she talks about, we do have to have flood and fire and famine, but it's worth it. Okay, and I'm just going to point out a little personification, and it's also a metaphor. So we've spoken about how some things can be two things at the same time, and I really like this one. So the drumming of an army. I'm going to go with metaphor. Sorry, excuse me with my little copy and pasting, but it seems to be working. Metaphor. There's more than one metaphor in this poem, but this is my favourite one. So she's talking about the rain. Okay, so her pitiless blue sky. We've also had the gold hush of noon, so lots of heat. But then we get the drumming of an army, the steady soaking rain. So it's not just pitter-patter of rain, it's not a trickle of rain or a drizzle of rain, it is a thundering army, drumming on the roof kind of rain. So this metaphor expresses the severity and the intensity of the rain. It's not just any old rain. It's not English rain. It's not gentle old pretty little England rain. This is full on drumming on the roof rain. Steady soaking rain. Again, some more alliteration. So I'm going to stop there because I could go on for another 2 hours about this poem, but this is going to give you enough for you to then annotate on your own copy of the poem. So you're not allowed to print this one out and bring this one in. You have to annotate it on your own copy. So the one with the smile analysis on the back. But this will give you quite a lot for you to be working on. And you might find some other things in here that you might like this better. You might like to talk about this imagery. It's totally up to you. Okay. Okay. So you identify, so finding a theme, you have to have a clear idea what the theme is. And I'm not going to type in a theme, but I'm going to tell you a theme. Okay. So theme for me, the theme of this poem is Australia is the most beautiful place on earth because it's her home. She thinks England's pretty, maybe even beautiful, but nothing is more beautiful than the place you call home. Okay, so you can write that down as your theme if you want to, or you can express it in your own words. I don't mind. Okay, so the poet believes that Australia is the most beautiful place on earth because it is her home. Okay, you can answer this one yourself. Alright, I hope that helps you. Okay.